Prabhuji, Hare Krishna devotees. Start with Mangalacharan. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Namaham Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyatade Shatarine Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavranda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna. Okay. All right. Anybody would like to sing our prayer for this week? Glorifying the...
I will try, Prabhuji.
Sure, Mataji. Yes.
Is it Samsara Davanalas? Do you know, Prabhuji?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah, that same Mangalarti tune. Okay. I'm sharing the screen. Yeah. So let's pray to Lord Shri Balaram that he may protect us through Balabhadra Stotra Kavach by Srila Vyasadeva. Yes, go ahead, Mataji.
बलवत् स्तोत्रम कवच की जय, प्रभुपाद की जय। गोलोकधामाधिपति परेश्वर, परेषु मां पातु पवित्र कीर्तन। भूमण्डलं सर्षपवद्विलक्ष्यते, यन्मूर्ति मां पातु स भूमिमण्डले। Can you scroll, Prabhuji? Yeah. सेनासु मां रक्षतसिरूपाणि, सेनासु मां रक्षतशिरपाणि, युद्धे सदा रक्षत मां खली च, दुर्गेषु च व्यामुसलि सदा मां, वनेषु सङ्कर्षण अधिदेवः। कालिन्दजावेगो हरो जलेषु, नीलाम्बरो रक्षतु मां सदा सदाग्नौ। वायुचरामो अवतु केवलश्च, महर्नवेनन्तवपु सदा मां। शिवासुदेवो अवत पर्वतेषु, सहस्रशीर्षा च महाविवादे। रोगेषु मां रक्षतु रौहिणेयो, मां कामुफलो अवतु विपुत्स। कामात् सदा रक्षत धेनुकारिः, क्रोधात् सदा मां द्विविध प्रहारी। लोभत् सदा रक्षतु बल्वलारी, मोहत् सदा मां किलमगधारिः। प्रातः सदा रक्षतु वृष्णिधूर्यः, प्राह्ने सदा मां मधुरपुरेन्द्रः। मध्याह्नदिने गोप सकः प्रभातु, स्वरट्पराह्ने अवतु मां सदैव। सायं फणीन्द्रोऽवतु मां सदैव, परात्परो रक्षतु मां प्रदोषे। पूर्णनिष्ठा च दुरन्तवीर्यः, प्रत्याशु कालेऽवतु मां सदैव। विदिक्षु मां रक्षतो रेवतीपतिर्दिक्षु प्रलाम्भरीरधो यादुद्वाहः। ऊर्ध्वं सदा मां बलभद्र आरात्, ततः समान्तात् बलदेव एव हि। अन्तः सधव्यात् पुरुषोत्तमो बहिः, नागेन्द्रलीलोऽवतु मम महाबला। सदान्तरात्मा च वसन् हरिस्वयं, प्रपतु पूर्ण परमेश्वरो महां। देवसुराणां भयनाशनां च हुतासनां छयेन्धनानां विनाशानां विघ्नगतस्य विधि सिद्धासनां वर्मवारम्बलस्य हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे Bhadravastakam ki jai, Prabhupada ki jai. Please forgive me, I've made some mistakes, Prabhuji.
No, Mataji. Krishna doesn't take any any mistakes. He only gives protection. Balram only gives protection. So thank you so much for
Thank you,
reciting this
Prabhuji.
wonderful
Thank
prayer.
you, Prabhuji. Hare
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna. Okay, anybody will?
Prabhuji.
Yes, Arti Mataji.
Translation. May Lord Balram, who is the master of Golok, who is the supreme controller of all controllers, and whose fame is spotless, protect me. May Lord Balram, who on his head holds the earth as if it were a single mustard seed, protect me in this world. May Lord Balram protect me when I am surrounded by many armies. May Lord Balram, who holds a plow, always protect me in battle. May Lord Balram, who holds a club, always protect me in many fortresses. May Lord Balram, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, protect me in the forest. May Lord Balram, who wears blue garments and who stopped the Yamuna, always protect me in fire. May Lord Balram protect me in the wind. May Lord Balram protect me in the sky. May Lord Balram, who is Lord Ananta himself, always protect me in the great ocean. May Lord Balram, who is Vasudev's son, protect me on mountains. May Lord Balram, who has 1,000 heads, protect me in great disputes. May Lord Balram, who is Rohini's son, protect me from diseases. May Lord Balram, who fulfills desires, protect me from catastrophes. May Lord Balram, who is the enemy of Dhenukasur, always protect me from lust. May Lord Balram, who killed Divivida, always protect me from anger. May Lord Balram, who is the enemy of Balwala, always protect me from greed. May Lord Balram, who is the enemy of Jarasandh, always protect me from illusion. May Lord Balram, who is the best of the Varshanis, always protect me at sunrise. May Lord Balram, who is the king of Mathura city, always protect me in the morning. May Lord Balram, who is the friend of the Gopas, always protect me at midday. May Lord Balram, who is the supremely independent, always protect me in the afternoon. May Lord Balram, who is the king of serpents, always protect me at sunset. May Lord Balram, who is greater than the greatest, always protect me in the evening. May Lord Balram, whose power is invincible, always protect me in the middle of the night. May Lord Balram always protect me at every sunrise. May Lord Balram, who is the master of Revati, protect me from every direction. May Lord Balram, who is the enemy of Pralamba, protect me from every direction. May Lord Balram, who is the best of the Yadavas, protect me from below. May Lord Balram always protect me from above. May Lord Balram protect me from near and far. May Lord Balram protect me everywhere. May Lord Balram, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, always protect me from within. May powerful Lord Balram, who enjoys his pastimes as the King of Serpents, protect me from without. May Lord Balram, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul residing in everyone's heart, always protect me. Please know that this Kavcha of Lord Balram is the best of armors. It destroys the fears of the demigods and demons. It is a blazing fire that burns up the fuel of a host of sins. It is the death of a host of obstacles. It is the abode of spiritual perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you, Aarti Mataji. Thank you, Shamakana Mataji. May Lord Balram always protect our devotion. Thank you so much for your wonderful devotional singing and reading. Okay, so as Balramji is protecting, yesterday we saw in Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit how Prabhupada, who is a representative of Balaramji, who is Adi Guru, and Prabhupada is our Jagat Guru, our foremost Acharya in ISKCON, Shiksha Guru for everybody, how he, as a representative of Balaramji, is protecting the deities in London, right? As the kind of the pillars gave way and the canopy was about to fall, but Prabhupada in one instant jumped on the altar and he's protecting. So he's the savior. He's our savior, and he's the savior for the deities. Again, he's a representative of Balaramji, as he says in a humble mood, that with humility. Yesterday we were reading, in the evening reading, we were talking about the humility, and Prabhupada is saying the same thing in the Prabhupada Leelamrit also, right? He's not considering himself as God. He's just a servant of the servant of the servant of the God. So that humility, when we have, humility is not just folding hands in front of somebody and bowing down. That is external part of humility. But humility also means that I need correction, or I'm not perfect, right? And Prabhupada, of course, through his whole lifetime of preparation, he showed us how he surrendered to his Guru Maharaj, and even till now, in 70 plus years of age, that humility is there. Then you are ready to be educated. Then the education comes. And then after education, spiritual education, sharpen our intelligence, then the empowerment comes. So, yeah, and he has given us man. So we see there are He-Man here in America, He-Man, who has got the humility, education, and empowerment. And of course, yeah, with Balaramji is giving the protection. So this chapter is also titled, we were reading yesterday, it's always exciting. It's always like an adventure to read Prabhupada Leelamrit because you don't know what's coming next. So this chapter is titled, yesterday Prabhupada protected the deities, and now this chapter is titled Threat Against ISKCON. And this is the week of Balaram Jayanti, and Balaramji is coming to protect the deities and to protect ISKCON. So let's continue reading and we'll see what happens next. Okay, so we are continuing from here. Prabhupada asked Brahmananda, if 50,000 copies of Back to Godhead magazine were being printed. Brahmananda answered that they were. Good, Prabhupada replied. Turning his attention to Satsvarupa, Prabhupada asked how the composing machine was working, and Satsvarupa said that hundreds of pages were being composed each month. Prabhupada asked Kirtananda Swami about New Vrindavan. New Vrindavan would improve, Prabhupada said. The only thing wrong was that it got blocked up in the winter. Each devotee in the car felt completely satisfied by his brief exchange with Prabhupada, and they rode with him intoxicated in spiritual bliss. Most of the devotees had raced ahead to the temple on Beacon Street and were waiting excitedly. The limousine pulled up, and again the devotees were unrestrained in their adoration of their spiritual master. Regally, Prabhupada walked up the walkway, onto the porch steps, through the front door, and into the vestibule, where he gazed around at the purple walls and the pink and green doorways. Surrounded by cheers and loving looks, he smiled. The second floor parlor, now the temple room, was filled with more than 150 disciples and guests, and they could see Prabhupada's form rise into view as he came up the stairs. He still carried his white attaché case in his left hand and his bead bag in his right, and although he had just come out of the winter's night, he wore no coat, only cotton robes and a sweater. He appeared radiant. Prabhupada approached the altar. He seemed to notice everything. The small Radhakrishna deities enthroned beneath the red velvet canopy, the larger deities of Jagannath, Subhadra and Balaram on a raised shelf above the picture of Lord Chaitanya and his Sankirtana party. Even the brass Arati paraphernalia, brightly shining on the small table near the altar. Turning to his secretary and traveling companion, Purushottama, he asked, "What do you think, Purushottama? Isn't this very nice?" Crossing the room, Prabhupada sat on the red velvet Vyasasan. He spoke and the audience was attentive. After praising the London Centre, the deity worship there, the expertly made puris for Radha and Krishna, he turned toward the altar and said, If you clean the deity's utensils, your heart will become cleansed. By polishing the deity's paraphernalia, he said, the devotees were cleaning their spiritual master's heart also. As he spoke, focusing simply and purely on devotion to the deity, the devotees suddenly realized the importance of this aspect of their Krishna consciousness. Who has made these clothes? Prabhupada asked, glancing at Radha and Krishna's little flounced dresses. Sharadiya, a few devotees called out. Prabhupada smiled. Thank you very much. Then he threw back his head and laughed. Is Sharadiya still fighting with her husband? The devotees and guests laughed, while Sharadiya covered her face with her hands. Don't fight with your husband, Prabhupada said. He's a good boy. Anybody that comes to Krishna consciousness is good. He then asked to see the rest of the house. 100 devotees, straining to see and hear Prabhupada's responses, followed him as he went downstairs. Although the crowd surrounded him, he remained relaxed and unhurried. He entered the press room, a long hall directly beneath the temple room. A large old offset press, a paper cutter, a folder, and flats of paper stock filled the room, which smelled like a print shop. Advaita, the press manager, bowed down in his green khakis before Prabhupada. He rose up smiling, and Prabhupada stepped forward and embraced him, putting his arm around Advaita's head. Very good, he said. Standing before the printing press, Prabhupada folded his palms together and offered a prayer to his spiritual master. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Shri Srimad Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai. Advaita asked Prabhupada to give the press a transcendental name. ISKCON Press, Prabhupada said matter-of-factly, as if it had already been named. Keep all the machines very clean, Prabhupada said, and they will last a long time. This is the heart of ISKCON. You are the heart of ISKCON, Prabhupada, a devotee said. And this is my heart, said Prabhupada. Leaving the main press room, Prabhupada toured the other press facilities. Squeezing in, ducking under, standing on tiptoe, the crowd of devotees followed him step by step. He peeked into a little cubby hole where a devotee was composing type. The typesetters, he said, should proceed very slowly at first, and in that way they would become expert. Turning to Advaita, he said, everyone in India who speaks Hindi has a Gita Press publication. So everyone who speaks English should have an ISKCON Press publication. Jai. Compared to most authors, Prabhupada's literary contribution was already substantial. But he wasn't just an author. His mission was to flood the world with literature glorifying Lord Krishna. Prabhupada's ISKCON was now 3 years old, yet his disciples were only beginning to execute his plans for printing and distributing transcendental literature. Printing was an important step, the first step. Months ago, Prabhupada had written, the press must work on continuously, and we shall produce immense volumes of literature. If the press goes on nicely, I shall be able to give you material for publishing a book every 2 months. We have got so much material for the Krishna consciousness movement. And just prior to coming to Boston, he had written, Sankirtan and distributing Back to Godhead and our other literatures is the field work of this movement. Temple worship is secondary. Now ISKCON was printing 50,000 copies of Back to Godhead per month, and Prabhupada hoped to increase the sales more and more. Standing in the crowded, chilly basement surrounded by devotees, press machines, and transcendental literature, Prabhupada described how he wanted ISKCON Press to operate. He said that after dictating a tape, he would mail it to Boston to be transcribed. The transcription should take no more than 2 days. During the next 2 days, someone would edit the transcribed manuscript. Then another editor would take 2 days to edit the transcript a second time. A Sanskrit editor would add diacritical markings and the manuscript would be ready for composing. Prabhupada said he could produce 15 tapes, 300 manuscript pages every month. At that rate, ISKCON Press should produce a book every 2 months, or 6 books in a year. Prabhupada wanted to print at least 60 books. Therefore, his press workers would have plenty to do for the next 10 years. If the devotees simply printed his books incessantly, he said, even if they had to work 24 hours a day in shifts, it would give him great delight. He was ready, if necessary, to drop all his activities except for publishing books. This was the special nectar the press devotees were hankering to hear. Printing books was Prabhupada's heart. It was the thing most dear to him. During Prabhupada's week in Boston, Purushottama continued as secretary and servant, out of duty. His difficulties in London had increased. Doubtful and morose, he came before Prabhupada 2 days before their departure. Purushottama. I had decided to live in London. I just felt like there were different things I wanted to do, but I felt obligated to stay with him because he needed me there. It was my job to at least get him back to the States. I felt that he needed someone to travel with him, and I just felt that I should complete that, have everything in order, so I couldn't say to myself that I had just quit when he needed me like that in a foreign country. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't speak against him or anything. I performed my duties, but in my attitude, I let him know I was really getting kind of distant the last few days. I didn't bow down to him. I would come in, but I just wouldn't bow down to him. He entered Prabhupada's room. He didn't bow down. He stood. He was too uncomfortable to sit because of the gravity of what he would say. Prabhupada looked up from his desk. Yes, Purushottama. Purushottam. I went in to see him. I knew I was going to leave, and it kind of made me sick to do it. Anyway, I told him I have a lot of questions about the movement, the moon, and everything. I just don't believe all of this. He was very congenial about the whole thing. He took it nicely. He said to me, if you have any questions, why don't you ask me? And I said, you yourself have said that we should only ask questions to somebody we feel we can believe or trust. He looked very hurt. He knew what I was saying. I felt like I really hurt him. I didn't mean it to be so defiant, but there I was. He said, I've noticed that you haven't been well lately. You've had some problems. I said, well, I haven't been trying to hide it. I guess I was trying to prepare him for what was coming. I wanted to leave that night. So I said, I want to leave. But he said to me, you've been with me so long, and now you are so anxious to go? You can't even stay a night? He said, why don't you stay at least till my plane leaves? That was 2 days later. I said, okay, I'll do that then. I was going to go back to New York. Actually, I didn't have the money for the ticket, and he gave me the money. He gave me the bus fare. I really appreciated that. I could have borrowed some money from someone else, but he said, well, you take it, and you can pay me back later. And I did. I gave it back the next week. He was very gracious about the whole thing. Actually, I could see that he had a very special, loving way of looking at the world. I felt that sometimes I could see things in a loving way, like he did, and I realized that I got that viewpoint from him, that little loving spirit. He had that, and I kind of caught some of that from him. And that's one of the things I always remember about him. And I know that through his movement, I came to believe in God. Before I met him, I didn't believe in God. After Purushottama left, Prabhupada spoke with Bhavananda about Purushottama's doubts concerning the moon landing and his consequent doubts of Krishna consciousness. I can understand that he might not accept it because I said it, but how could he disbelieve the Vedic Shastras? Boston's weather was miserable. When the rain stopped, the snow fell, and when the snow stopped, the rain came again. Prabhupada tried taking a walk in the front yard, Bhavananda beside him with the umbrella, watching cautiously to guard him from falling on the ice. But after a week of Boston's nasty December weather, Prabhupada's cold was getting worse. He would go to Los Angeles, February 25, 1970. On the auspicious occasion of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur's appearance day anniversary, the LA devotees received permission to enter their new temple on Vatsika Avenue. The rooms had not even been cleaned and the large hall was bare, but the devotees brought in a large picture of his spiritual master. Prabhupada's Vyasasan from the old temple on La Cienega, and Prabhupada had them place on it a large picture of his spiritual master. Standing before his spiritual master, Prabhupada offered Arati while some 50 disciples gathered around him, chanting Hare Krishna and dancing in the otherwise empty hall. After the Arati, Prabhupada directed his disciples in offering flowers to the picture of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati. Then, still standing before the Vyasasan, he said he had nothing to offer his spiritual master on this day except his own disciples. He then read aloud the names of all his disciples. Taking his seat on a low Vyasasan beside the large Vyasasan of Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada gave a short history of his Guru Maharaj, son of Bhakti Vinod Thakur and powerful Acharya of the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. As Prabhupada recalled his first meeting with his spiritual master, he told how Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati had told him to teach Krishna consciousness to the English-speaking world. This large new temple, Prabhupada said, had been provided by Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati as a gift for the devotees to use in Krishna's service. They should not become attached to the opulence, Prabhupada said, but they should use this wonderful place for preaching. As he spoke, He wept. Now bring them prasadam, Prabhupada called, and the feast began. While devotees sat on the floor in rows, Prabhupada from his Vyasasana directed the servers, having them bring another samosa to one devotee, more chutney to another, and so on. He watched over all of them, encouraging them to take Krishna's prasadam. That afternoon, Prabhupada toured the buildings. In addition to the main hall, which he would have the devotees convert into a temple, he saw the equally large lecture hall. These rooms, plus a 3-room apartment, ample separate quarters for male and female devotees, a parking lot, and a front lawn made this the finest physical facility in all of ISKCON. We don't require such a nice place for ourselves, Prabhupada told the temple president Gargamuni. We are prepared to live anywhere, but such a nice place will give us opportunity to invite gentlemen to come and learn about this Krishna consciousness. The cost of the building had been $225,000 with the $50,000 down payment. Prabhupada had more than $10,000 in his book fund, but that was exclusively for printing books. So although he usually didn't like to deal personally in such negotiations, he had made an exception in this case and had asked the other temples to donate to the new world headquarters in LA. He had even mailed snapshots of the buildings to various temple presidents around the world. Thus, he had collected the down payment, and on Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati's appearance day, ISKCON became the legal owner. This was the only temple ISKCON actually owned. All the other buildings were leased or rented, and Prabhupada wanted to design everything himself. Hiring professionals would be too expensive, but Prabhupada had plenty of disciples eager to do the renovation. Karandhara knew a little carpentry, plumbing, and general construction, and he could learn more by experience. Bhavananda had been a professional designer, and he was filled with Prabhupada's enthusiasm to transform the plain church into a dazzling palace for the Supreme Personality of Godhead. First, you make my apartment, Prabhupada told Bhavananda. Let me move in and then we will work on the temple room. Bhavananda. We picked out a part of the LA temple for Prabhupada's quarters, and Karandhara built a bathroom. When Prabhupada came up to the rooms, he said, "This will be my sitting room. This will be my bedroom." And when he came into a third room with a skylight, he said, "This will be my library." Prabhupada had told me once in Boston that as a child he had lived in a palace with blue walls, red marble floors, and orange and gold trim, the Malik's house in Calcutta. So we painted the walls of his sitting room blue, and I put in a white tile floor. The drapes were burnt orange satin with gold cords and gold fringe. Prabhupada liked this color scheme very much. In the bedroom, I asked Prabhupada where he wanted his bed, and he said, "Put the bed in the middle of the room." We had put down a rug, and Prabhupada said, "Now you should get sheets and cover the rug with them." In India, they have rugs like this, nice rugs, and they cover them with sheets, and on special days they take the sheets off, otherwise they would become ruined. So I went out and bought sheets. Prabhupada was sitting in his sitting room when I came in and started putting the sheet over the rug in the bedroom. Prabhupada came in and said, "Yes, this is very nice. Again, I have introduced something new. This is something new for all of you, sheets on rugs." Then he told me, "Now make sure there are no wrinkles in the sheet." I was on my hands and knees on the rug, and Prabhupada also got down on his hands and knees right next to me. We were both pressing out the wrinkles from the sheet, and when we got to the end, Prabhupada folded the sheet under the rug. He was very happy there because it was our own place. We had never had our own place before. Okay, pause here. Thank you so much. All right, so continue from here. Yes, you see how carefully Prabhupada is like teaching, and just all these small exchanges that he's having are like a lifelong lesson of learning for all his disciples, right? So, and he is paying attention, right? That's the quality of a spiritual master. His eyes and his attention are each one of them, just like he's reading out the name of each of his disciples to his Guru Maharaj on his Vyas Puja, and during the Prasadam he's so focused and so attentive to everybody's needs, and he's encouraging the servers to serve everybody one extra samosa, chutney here, right? So how much of care and love he had for his disciples. And yeah, we see here that Purushottama Prabhu, even though he left, but he could at least feel that that loving attitude, the loving and genuine care that Prabhupada had, and that maybe touched his heart somewhere. So that is the quality of a guru. And yesterday in the evening reading, we were reading from Guru. Guru also literally means heavy, right? So, Guru is not whimsically trying to serve his disciples. Like, he doesn't try to please all his disciples just for the sake of pleasing, just for the sake of getting their money, or becoming famous, or having a group of followers. No, Guru is always correct through the gravity of their knowledge and authority. So that is why Guru literally means heavy. And Vishwanath Prabhu and others who have taken the Sanskrit course knows, right? Guru and Lagu, we have two kinds of syllables in Sanskrit. So Guru is heavy and Lagu is the short one. So, but yeah, Guru, as Prabhupada says, Guru is heavy, but Guru is not a servant of his disciples, but Guru is a servant. Is a servant certainly, but he's a servant of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, servant of Lord Shri Krishna. And here, on this wonderful day of Vyas Puja of his Guru Maharaj, he has inaugurated the press. He has called it the ISKCON press, because that was the only instruction that his Guru Maharaj told him, that if you have some money, print books, right, way back in 1930s. Prabhupada is calling that as his heart. And then his devotees say, you are the heart of ISKCON. He says, but this is my heart. So how wonderful it is that, when we take time to read these books that Prabhupada has given, because this is his heart. With so much of toil and labor, his disciples produced this through this ISKCON press. He toiled day and night in the night to write this for us. So when we read this in the Association of Devotees, we are actually distributing. This is also a form of book distribution that we are doing. We are educating ourselves. We are distributing this literature to our congregation. When we go out and distribute and we share this with more new devotees, this is, like Prabhupada says, this is his heart. So we are directly touching Srila Prabhupada's heart by reading these books nicely, by distributing these books nicely. Yes, so this is a wonderful gift in the Guru Parampara that we can give to Prabhupada, and Prabhupada in turn is giving to his Guru Maharaj. Just like when we offer Prasadam, Bhoga, it is going up the chain to the Guru Parampara. So by reading these books, this is our offering to Prabhupada, to Prabhupada's disciples first, and then to Prabhupada, and then to his Guru Maharaj, and to Bhaktivinoda Thakur, who had predicted that a temple of Radha Krishna will come up in London. And after 100 years, Prabhupada had made it come true. And now he was spreading it in the West more and more, now in Boston. Okay, anybody else would like to share anything that touched your heart? And through your heart, we can touch Srila Prabhupada's heart.
Yes, Prabhuji, I like that the paraphernalia which they were using for the deities, and if you keep them clean, so your hearts also will be cleansed. And one more thing he told is Prabhupada's, what was another sentence that was there? So that one stood out for me, so nice, Prabhuji. So he instructed his disciples how nicely. He was so frank and so determined in giving instructions about printing, and how he had planned each and everything so nicely, Prabhuji. So these 2 points, I really liked it, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Mataji. And he has given us, all of us, this opportunity through all these centers, 800 plus centers around the world now. Of course, wherever we are, that is Vaikuntha, that is Goloka, like Prabhupada says. So when we serve at our centers, of course, there's the week of Balaram Jayanti, Balaram Purnima, and we know Balaramji expands, right? Balaramji expands as Vrindavan Dham. So Prabhupada is calling all of this as Vrindavan. Then we know this is Balaramji himself. Our centers, our temples are Balaramji. When we clean our centers, when we clean the paraphernalia of the deities of the center, we clean the deities, offering paraphernalia, all of this, we are actually serving Balaramji directly. We are serving Krishna directly. So Prabhupada has so nicely given us everything that we need to do, right? Like he was saying yesterday, everything I've given you, just, what did he say to Yamuna Mataji? He said, just practice what I have taught you, right? That is the only thing, that is our qualification. If we can just practice what he has taught us, then all of these things will be fulfilled. Yes. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Thank you for your nice services, and at this age you are doing so much, inspiring all of us, traveling around to so many different cities, inspiring so many devotees with your sincere sadhana. Hare Krishna.
It is Krishna's mercy, Prabhuji.
That's why Krishna has given
Thank you.
you.
And
Krishna has given you the Krishna car, right? I saw your name. I saw your name plate on the Tesla as Krishna. So Krishna is driving you. You just put the address, and in your Tesla, you come from Indianapolis to Louisville to Columbus to.
all Krishna's mercy and devotees like you, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mataji. Anybody else would like to share anything?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna, Shri Mataji. We hope to see you once in Cincinnati also and take your darshan. So next time when you're traveling, please keep us in mind and thoughts. And I was, Prabhu, I was thinking about the Prabhupada said we could be printing 24/7, and he has so much of literature that every 2 months we could come out with new literature. And I was thinking before coming to Krishna consciousness, I had started to start reading again outside my medical literature, and I used to like, okay, what should I read, and look at New York bestsellers, and nothing sounded so good. But because I wanted to restart reading, I used to find reasons to read a book. And now I think we have all experienced that once we have come to Krishna consciousness, we have way more literature, way more books than we can accommodate in many lifetimes. So this is such a good problem to have, and we are so lucky to have such a beautiful tradition where we have so much of wonderful literature that is not mundane, that just is all transcendental. And I'm so grateful to Srila Prabhupada to translate it in English so that, people like me, I would have probably not read tons of Hindi books. So for me and for generations to come, our children, they can just pick it up and get all the knowledge. So no more cryptic Sanskrit language for them. So that is so wonderful. Thank you.
Yes, English is the language of the world, right? And Prabhupada wanted to establish this worldwide movement, so so he did it. He knew expertly exactly what needed to be done. Of course, he got that instruction from his Guru Maharaj, who knew exactly what needed to be done, right? So yeah, we are just following in the parampara. So he has given us in English, we read it in English. But yeah, now we see so many like Bhakti Charu Maharaj, for example, he translated many of things back into Bengali. It shares from Sanskrit to English, and from English to Bengali. But yeah, most of the world languages, these books have been translated. So it's all over the world now by Srila Prabhupada's mercy and Guru Parampara's mercy. Yeah, so they can have no excuses that, oh, I cannot read, because it's there in literally every language. So all the devotees, everybody around the world can read these wonderful books of Srila Prabhupada. Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Okay, anybody else would like to say anything? Okay, if not, thank you so much, as always, for your kind association. End with Vaishnava Pranam prayers. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Anantakoti Vaishnavrind ki jai. Jagadguru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Prabhupada Leelamrit ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande. Hari Hari Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavat Pranams. Have a Krishna blessed day, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.